Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "Every person I meet is my superior in some way. In that, I learn of them." At today's graduate student poster competition, I spoke with the finalists, and here's what I learned.
So our study shown that chewing gum fortified with 25% RDA levels of vitamins can increase the vitamin levels in your blood if you chew them.
Broccoli, normally we're breeding for things that aren't necessarily nutrient potential, and as we breed consistently for yield, for shelf life, and for color and taste, we might be forgetting or losing some of these nutrient potentials of broccoli. So what we're doing is we're mapping within the broccoli genome where these health relevant traits are. Broccoli is known to be anti-cancer and has some anti-inflammatory potential. So what we can do is locate where on the genome this health relevant gene is, and then we can make sure plant breeders going forward include that region in their varieties and make sure that we can get the most out of our broccoli when we eat it.
So we found in a sample of over 1,000 students that nutrition label users were more likely to eat fruit, more likely to choose vegetables, beans, and they were less likely to choose refined grains and potatoes, most of which were in the form of French fries.
2 to 8-year-olds, when they actually eat the recommended vitamin D, over the winter period, it significantly increased their lean mass of their whole body, just their appendicular skeleton and just their legs.
According to the research, we found that 2 eggs per day for breakfast will increase the bioavailability of the carotenoids lutein and zeaxanthin. And these are really important because they can help protect against diseases, inflammatory diseases such as age-related macular degeneration. We also found that it may help reduce risk of cardiovascular disease through lipoprotein carbohydrates.
Well, omega-3 status is associated with positive bone mass in children at the lumbar spine.
So cocoa can be beneficial for people with pre-diabetes because it can enhance their incretin response, which is beneficial because it will lower their blood sugar levels, it will promote insulin secretion, and it can overall help their hyperglycemia.
So under these particular experimental conditions, we found no influence of dietary protein and fiber on subjective appetite, neural responses to visual food stimuli, or in ad libitum energy intake at lunch in overweight adults.
So in our study, we served cocoa powder with a high-fat meal. So cocoa powder reduces inflammation by reducing the oxidative damage caused by the high-fat, high-carb meal.
Was correlational, so we can't say with any good certainty whether it was the IL-6 that affected the gut microbiota or if it was the gut microbiota that affected the IL-6. But what we saw was a correlation between higher levels of particular species of lactobacillus and higher levels of IL-6.
Basically what we found is in premenopausal women, protein intake did not affect IGF-1 levels, but in postmenopausal women over the age of 50, there was a significant association between protein intake and IGF-1.
Well, in the human condition and in obese individuals, it appears that it doesn't affect adipose tissue inflammation, and that the burden of obesity is actually more significant than dietary composition in regards to adipose tissue inflammation.